Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Studying the Masters. I am Alicia Dianne, and welcome to Alicia Dianne Art. We're going to be continuing on in our children's book illustration study. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our Photoshop window, and we're going to pick up right where we left off last week. So what we've been doing this interim, I guess, is Marissa Valdez. It's from her book. I actually have the book. It's called Hattie Harmony, Opening Nights. And so it is a scene from that. You guys, if you want to get the book, this is what it looks like. It's a nice size. So I would definitely recommend like buying children's books if you're interested in children's book illustration. It helps you be more familiar with the process, and like you get to see a good, nice, large quality of the pictures, and it helps you to kind of understand the flow. Get used to that page count because typically in a children's book illustration it will be like a 30 page count, so you want to aim for around that amount. Let's see, got my wrong thing open, so I'm going to open up my window. Let's see, and let me share with you what I'm doing. Okay, and let's see, share like this. All right, awesome. All right, so let's go continue. Let me find where I have everything saved at. I have so many files and folders, it's ridiculous, but that's all right. All right, so let's see, which is the one that we're working on. This is one that we're working on right now. And I'm just going to be using painting from a reference. And we're going to continue where we left off. Okay, so this is where we got. We started getting into more of the detail with the second character. I think our first character is mostly done. So what we're going to do is continue on painting this second one. And I'm already seeing some things. That's what happens too when you leave something for a while and you come back to it. You kind of start to see things that you want to change and see where it's not where you want it to be. So let's see. I'm going to look for the line. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes in the mouth area. Alrighty. So hopefully you guys are doing well today. I'm actually getting ready to go out of town. I'm going to a place called Lone Pine in California, which I have never been to before. I'm hearing there's some historical things about it that seem interesting if nothing else. So I am excited, but also a little bit like nervous, not knowing what to expect. So we'll see. Yeah, I probably should have really spent a little bit more time in the sketch part because, let's see, and cleaning that up, because I'm trying to figure out the angle of that mouth to get it to look like the original, because it's not really looking like it to me right now. Let me find a different brush. It feels better, but I think I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. That's sometimes the thing too when you're drawing in someone else's style. Sometimes it takes a little bit of adjusting to kind of not only get used to it, but have it feel natural at the same time, especially if they have a style that you're not accustomed to working in just yet. That feels better. Oops. darker. Okay, so I think I might leave it as that for now, but I do want to change the snout a little bit as well because it feels a little bit off from the original as well. So I gotta find where I put that color in the first place. I don't know why I started with such a pale yellow, or such a pale orangey yellow. It's very different than the original one. I'm like, why did I do this? It doesn't feel like the same color. Let me see. I want to take a different color, I think. And let's see, maybe if I'm afraid it will select too much. I'm afraid what will happen, but oh, that's not bad. It feels closer to the original character. I might have to clean up some of the side, but that's alright too. Hopefully you guys are also able to see like the book club review, because we did the, what was it, the second or the third? I think it was the third book review of Selling for Dummies yesterday, and that book is really good. I'm really learning a lot from it, because I feel like, man, the more I learn, the more I realize I didn't know. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just like, man, there's a lot more I did not know, I wasn't aware of. So all right, so hopefully we can get through, I wonder how much, if we can, I don't know if we'll actually finish today, but I want to get to as close to finish as possible. And I know we need a lot more detail to do that. All right, so let's see. All right, I don't know. Now it's time to try and remember to like what brushes I use, which I know I'm not gonna remember the exact brushes, but it's all right. I'm gonna use this, and I want to make that orange on his a little less orange, because I made the under color like too pale, and then I made the top one like too bright. It's feeling a little bit like Cheeto dust to me right now, and I don't want it to feel that way. So let's see if I can change this up a bit. Get some in here so it doesn't feel so flat. I think a big part of adding the texture is just making sure that your illustration doesn't feel flat, because you really want to avoid that sort of a aesthetic. Is like, it just doesn't look good. I don't like this one. And the good thing about like using different brushes, you can always change around. Like if one doesn't feel right, feel free to swap to a different one. I tend to like chalk pastel type of brushes. So hopefully I can find what I'm looking for. Let's see which one. like this one. Let's see. And there's no like really right or wrong amounts to put. It just depends on, you gotta go flow with it. Which takes it takes practice to really get used to it. Like I said before, for me, it's digital painting hasn't come like that most naturally, but as I've been just practicing more, it's really just doing it. It's like anything else. But I mean, I know that's so simple to say, but it's really true. All right, let's see what else I want to do. I want to make this a little bit darker too. And I'll erase some of this other stuff. I might go ahead and put the texture for his clothes on a separate layer, even though I have like the flat for his clothes and his skin on the same. I think I want to do the texture for the clothes on a different layer. It'll be easier to erase where I don't want it. And first, I'm just gonna go in where I feel like needs. Oops. What happened? I'm on eraser. Duh. Like, something's wrong. Just gonna go in where I feel like it could use some shading. And even I didn't draw where his sleeve is over here. But now that I did it like this, I feel like it's be easier to just remove it in areas where I don't want it to be. Like over that paw. All this stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna also add a little bit of highlight in some spots. So I have a little bit of texture everywhere that I want it to be. You want to have a good amount of texture on everything so that your piece doesn't just look flat. Alright, now there's like there's like different patterns and things, so I think I'll also do that on another layer. I know it's ending up being a lot of layers, but I'd rather do that than have it get confusing on one layer. You can always flatten it later. You can't like you can't separate them after you already put them together, or it will be very difficult, especially if you put them on top of each other. Then it's just not gonna, this is not gonna work. All right. For some things you can just go ahead and put the alpha lock and that will be fine, but it's not for everything. I think for the detail for like this layer, I think I will go ahead and put an alpha lock on. where she got the idea to, I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know the character that well. I don't know what their story is. I don't know why they have such a crazy kind of jacket. Like it has all these patterns on it, like it's a Michael Jackson jacket or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just something to do with how she, the personality that she pictured for this character. So I think it is important to know your own character, even if you don't necessarily go into the backstory and stuff like that in your story. I think it can be kind of gives them more dimension. So even though I don't know like what the plan was with the character, I still think it's pretty cool that it has all this stuff on him. Let's see. I'm just trying to locate now all the different types of patterns on here. There's even like a reflection of this orange color that he has, maybe a little bit deeper. I was listening to this artist talking about painting, and he said that just always a reflection of the colors that are close to each other, if that makes sense, in a painting. Like they always kind of bounce and reflect off of each other. So you always want to put a little bit of the color that's next to your color. I know it's starting to get confusing, but I mean, it made sense to me, especially like working traditional, but I think you can also apply it in a digital sense. If you're, it doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be subtle, but you can still sort of find ways to incorporate colors that are close to each other to kind of reflect or bounce off of each other. I don't know if this is supposed to be like bandana type of a pattern, or I'm not sure, but it's all good. And this might even be a little bit like brighter. Trying to find the right color there. Alright, so let's see what other patterns are on this guy. There's also something happening here. I'm honestly not sure why this character is so sad at this point. Something clearly is going on. And let's see. I might need to go ahead and do this little thing on this layer because he has like a, what are they called? Those needle things? A pin cushion? I don't know why I couldn't think of the name at that point, but yeah, he has like a pin cushion. So let's see, it does have a little bit of reflection of the other colors on here. It's like some red, but also has like, let's see, a little bit more yellowy. Maybe paler. I think I'll make this yellow less saturated too, so it won't be so drastic. Maybe a little bit more green here. And maybe just to give it some texture, I can just put a lock on there. And then just kind of what's the past? Oh, okay, that's different. I'm experimenting with some of these brushes. I just want to put a little bit of texture so it doesn't feel just flat. I can also add some texture in here. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do now. I'll go back on here for a second. And maybe even for his little shoes and pants, I might just do that on the first layer. Don't think I have any need to necessarily make, it seems, I don't know, it will be a little bit daring, I'll admit, but I think I'd like to try that out. I just want to make sure that I have all the right areas colored in first, so that when I lock it, it won't be not coloring where I want it to. Alright, I think we can go ahead and give this a shot. Alright, should we go for it? I am a little bit nervous. Alright, I thought that was part of the run over with that, but it's not. Alright, so I'm going to lock this, and I'm going to start adding some. Actually, I have to fix something first. The shape of his foot is wrong. It comes out too much. I can probably turn off this background for now. Alright, let's lock it again. And for the white, I'm not going to use completely white. I'm going to use a paler version of that purple. Oops, and there's a different, we're seeing like an up angle of this foot over here. I'm getting so hungry now. You see, I told you I need to like make sure that I eat something before. Oh no, am I an eraser? Why does it say eraser? How did that happen? It says eraser. I thought I was on the... You see, I thought I was on what I was supposed to be on, but I'm not. But why is it the right color then? Alright, let's try something. It's doing like exactly what I wanted it to do, but apparently it was on an eraser. Oh well. I don't know. Let me see if it's see-through then. No, it's not. That's weird. Okay. I'm just gonna act like that didn't happen. You see, I like that eraser brush better than this one. Let's see. Alright, I'm still on the right layer though, right? Okay. And under the shoe, it's darker, but not too much brighter. Not that desaturated. I'm just like trying to find the right colors I'm looking for. I got a notification on my phone. That somebody is on my website. That's a good thing. By all means, please. AliciaDianne.com. Alright. Let's see what else we can do. This one should be coming around this way. Alright. That's a good start. I definitely want to go in with some line stuff, but I'm gonna do a little bit more with texture here. Let me grab my pastel. There's something really that feels relaxing about painting digitally. I don't know what it is, but it's really like satisfying. I don't know. That's just me, but oops, it feels that way. There's a little bit of green in those pants. So make sure I picked a tint that had some green on it. Which makes sense because we got that like orange red jacket, so to add a little bit of green makes sense for the complementary. All right, let's see. Be aware too of like what the fabric is or what the thing is that you're painting, because that will affect how it looks. Jeans tend to be more jean-like. No, but seriously, the texture on different things is going to be different, so you want to make sure you feel like you're kind of capturing that. Alright, let's go up to the line. I'm gonna start adding some more line here. Alright, so I want to get a pencil brush again. I know I've tried many and I have way too many. I don't use any of them. So let's see. I really like this one. This is one I use like all the time. Maybe I should just try to use that one then. Let's see. I use that for my figure drawing on Photoshop, but let's see how it works in this. Oh, that's not bad. And I think it's on, yeah, it's on dissolve. So if I wanted it to be a little bit less scratchy, I could probably just take off that dissolve and it might do the trick. Like if I put it on normal, it might, yeah, it gives me a little bit less of a scratchy. It's still scratchy, but not as scratchy. This is where I really like have questions. It's like where, when you're putting limited line, what are the spots that are most important to just kind of put in? Where do you need it, where you not? That's where I honestly still have a lot of questions. When it comes to children's book illustration, it seems like there's become a certain aesthetic that is more of on trend, I guess you would say. But I'm trying to figure out and understand what that is while still doing what I feel comfortable doing. So it's a balance between trying to just understand what's being done and what's kind of selling right now, and then like also just finding your own voice. Because some artists don't use like black at all. You know, they will not use any like black line, but Marissa does, and she does it sparingly, but I think it's really charming the way that she does it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go over some of these to give it that same sort of a hairier line. But the way she's using it is really just to kind of point out where things change. His back should be arched the other way. There's no line there, but I want to put that there so I can erase it. Oops. All right, going back in here, so I see something I want to add. Let's see. I could probably just add it on the line player. I think I will. But I need to even out where his neck is. Alright. The more you start like adding detail, the more things will stick out and be like, oh, okay, that's different. Oops. Maybe I want to do it here though, so I don't want to like go over. It's an area in here where it's more yellow, so I want to add that. All right, so let's see. Okay, just got like little it's like sun on the shoes. tell if she's done this, but I feel like I want to add a little bit of that blue line there. Just for the sake of like having it feel clean. And you can do line in the same color. That kind of solves both problems when you kind of will pick the same color you're using. And let's see. Looks like this jacket goes further down. Don't be afraid to change things after you've done them. Like, you can still go ahead and go over things and change things, because you might see something that you want to change, and you don't just like leave it unchanged if you see that you made an error or whatever, or just something that's not as nice as you want it to be. Like, don't be afraid to go back and then fix it. I think we can get lazy if we're not careful. So you want to make sure you avoid feeling lazy. And I might not use the same exact brush for all of this stuff, but I'm okay with that. As long as I get the look I want. Some of this will be covered over anyway because there's a lunchbox, but I just want to get it to feel like how I want it to. Alright, back to the line art. And I'm going to take this reddish color, and I'm also going to blend that up just a little bit. Alright, so let's see, is there anything else I wanted to handle with this guy? Yes. Let's see. There's some white on this pin cushion. Maybe I'll go ahead and put that background on again so I can see. If there's anything I noticed with children's book illustrations since we started this series, it's just a ton of detail. And I think that's a good thing. You want to keep those kids interested in the story, invested. Alright, so let's see. I also need to mess with this. Let's see. Oh my gosh, why are people banging around upstairs? People are making all kinds of noise. Just want to even out the tail a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm gonna fix the hat. Hat needs texture. I'll do it on this layer. It's a little bit more green though. Just add a little bit of green. All right. Definitely need some line on this hat. I think I'll use that same color I'm using now to do the line on it. I'll just go back up. I kind of like this way of just adding just a little bit of line where you need it. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Notice that I have my pencil drawing off at this point. You want to turn that off at some point where after you get in like the main details, you can turn off that pencil line. This, I notice if I just leave it on, I kind of use it as a crutch, and you want to avoid that. That keeps you from really painting. Alright, so what else do we need to do? I'm so excited and I'm just eager to do the background, but I know I'm like, I need to work on these characters, but I just want to do the background. I'm gonna group these together. Let's name them so I know what the heck it is. And what is this group that I have? I think I can delete that because I don't think I'm using that, am I? No, I'll just delete it because I don't know what that is. Alright, so let's see. Alright, we had this guy, had that. We need to put in the little toolbox. I just got like a little cubby. I'll probably just make that its own layer.
And I don't think I need to, let's see, I'm gonna rough it out first. It's like a kitty caboodle. What do they call those things? Kitten caboodle? Or just caboodles. If you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. And just a spool of thread. I think I'll just put those on the same layer, because why not? Just do them one at a time. Alright, so let's zoom in. Wrong color. There we go. I think I'm just turn this off a second and just work on this. Let's lock it though. Just want to fill it in as much as I can right now. But it gives it a nice texture when you have like an under color. Just make it darker. All right. Unlock it. And I'm just gonna doodle because I feel like that's kind of the vibe I'm feeling. Like I just want to kind of doodle. These little clouds on here. Something else, I don't know what that is. I'll lock it again for a second. So do the lightning bolt, TCB. You know what, I'm going to use a pencil for that. there's like a needle. That's what that is. I couldn't tell what it was. Like another thread here. No, unlock that. There's a bit of a freeness when you just kind of let yourself to doodle without being too attached to the outcome. I think it's probably another cloud or something. Just like little stars and stuff. Just give yourself like some freedom to just make some things up. I think that really helps when you're doing this type of illustration. All right, and there's like a spool of thread, which I'm also just gonna kind of doodle. Oops. It's even like kind of transparent. Alright, now I just really want to add that little bit of thread, and then we're just going to hop into the background for the last few minutes that we have together. Not so saturated. I like that you change the color when it's going over the character. It's really subtle, but it lets you actually see the thread more clearly. You can just delete that. Alright, let's see what we got so far. Alright, so we have our characters done. The backgrounds are interesting. It's really simplified, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. What I want to do is create a new layer where I just flat the background first. The actual floor is not even showing, it's just white. But I'm gonna grab the pale blue that she's using. It's like a pale sea blue. And let's just flat out everything first. And I've been drawing on a gray background, but I'm going to change that to not completely white, but like a very pale blue. Oops. I might even just turn off the colors for a minute so I can just focus, turn off the characters so I can just focus on this. All right. Just want to get as much of this stuff in here as I can. Let's see. Oops, wrong layer. All right, so I'm actually going to take down some of the saturation. All right, so we have this. I want to start now. Let's add clipping mask. I love the sort of simplicity of it. Never mistake like simplicity with like easy, because it doesn't make it easy, it just simplifies it. It makes it really clean. My stylus is acting up. Some spools of thread. It's very monochrome back here, but I really like that effect. And this, on the other hand, is a lot more shiny. So what I want to do is add a brush that doesn't feel so dry. Yeah, like this. It looks like this is like a safe or something. Something that is metal. So even in the like subtlety of the background, she's still thinking about that. So, let's see. Let me take this and make it just a little darker. Let's see. I feel like I want to make that even a little bit more. Maybe I should just turn it off right now. No, not completely, but I want to take the opacity way more down there. Like some this is like a mannequin, but it's like a horse head, which is interesting. I don't know if it's a shout out to like The Godfather or what. The fun thing too is you can add your own little Easter eggs too. Because it's whatever you want it to be, really. And I'm just going to freehand these lines. I'm not going to go in with a ruler or nothing. Might take me more than one try, but I feel like, oops, well maybe I will, if I can, in some places. So I lied. Some places I will, but I don't feel like it needs to be like perfect everywhere. I think lines are important, like straight lines, but you don't want to tie yourself. I'm putting my name. Because I can. Alright, I can zoom out a bit. And I'm trying to do this quickly because I know we are already out of time. And I wanted to get this done today so we can start a new illustration next week. Not like you should have a rush, but I'm just trying to get this show going. Because we're almost there, we're right at the finish line. And these little areas where she has like there. She has them. She actually has that open. Details like that I think are important, because you don't want too many things just like distracting your viewers. These are spools of thread. So that's something to try for sure. It's just like trying to keep things like monochromatic. Trying a monochromatic background and just seeing how you like how it looks, because I think it looks really nice and clean. Spools of fabric. I forgot that I'm not on Procreate. Can't make a perfect ellipse just like that. It's okay though. I'm almost there. Okay, there's that. Let's go up here. This is like the costume closet or something. I love this little ball of yarn. You just put a smiley face on it. I think that's just fun. And sunglasses. And that's all right. All right. So we're almost there. Just a little closet to go. I think I will zoom out on here too. So I can actually see where all my lines are going. Okay. We have these little things hanging up, little garments. And I'm gonna just try and erase right there so it doesn't look like the clothes are see-through, because that wouldn't make sense. And let's see. I'm also going to erase right here so the garments aren't the same color as the background of the closet. And just because I want to, I think I'd like to man, don't want it to mess up there. Just gonna there. So we can see a little bit of the depth. I don't even know if that's on the original. No, it's not, but I just feel like I want to see it there for my own reasons. So it doesn't have to be exact. You can kind of ad-lib a little bit when you feel the need. Sometimes it comes. All right, so I think we got it. Take that off. And let's make our background pale blue. All right. And before I bring in our characters, I actually want to bring in a texture. So let me see the file open. See, where's my paper textures at? Paper textures, paper art, tools, textures, paper pack. Let's bring this one in. Alright, so I'm going to add paper texture because no children's book illustration is complete before you add in that paper texture. Make sure you add texture. And spin it around. Make that 90 degrees and maybe like 75%, 70%. All right, so save that. Let's change it to linear burn, not color burn, linear burn, and let's make that like 40%. All right, and let's turn on our characters. And this is it, guys. We made it. Oh, that was fun. There is a little bit of, actually, let me put a little bit of shadow under our characters' bums. So let's see, it's like a pale purple. Let's see. Use like a pastel. Go back that far. So just a little bit of shadow.
can probably turn the opacity down to be like 40. All right, I think that is good. I think we've done it. Let's see. I don't like where this is. I'm gonna move that. It's a little bit. I know I'm picky. Let me move that up there. All right. I think we have done it. I am happy with the end result. It's not exactly the way she had it, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close, and it was a very good study. So I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me for this Studying the Masters. We have officially completed our Marissa Valdez illustration. I'm very happy with the results. I think it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot, and I hope you guys did too. So I will see you all next week. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. And until next time, be grateful, live balance, and be yourself. Bye-bye.